The newly aired Pokémon Horizons episode 138, titled Enter the Fake Rising Voltaclers, it might have been one of the most cursed episodes in the entire Pokémon anime. This was more than just doppelgangers, man. This was grown adults dressing as children, something demonic that low-key terrified me, not to mention a baby that literally broke the law and did the impossible. This was a wild one, man, and we've got to talk about it in this review video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy, and now let's dive into it. The episode began with fake reports of the rising Voltaclers helping people and Pokemon all around the world, and our heroes were like, whoa, we didn't do any of that. We've been doing naffle since Laqua. That couldn't be us. So they go to investigate. Some townsfolk point them in the right direction, but I'm way too distracted by the sleeping Oshawott to care. The cutest guy of all time. Man, if we could add an Oshawott to the main cast, that'd be great. I'm kind of on my knees begging. I loved seeing Roy and Alt bickering along the way, accusing each other of being the fakers, and I know I keep saying it, but it really adds such a fun dynamic to the group having those two arguing often. I love Liko, Roy and Dot as a trio, but the one thing they always greatly lacked was that they were almost too nice to each other, you know? They never had any arguments or disagreements whatsoever. I feel like Alt brings in that missing dynamic, kinda similar to how Ash used to bicker with some of his friends. So our heroes then find the fake Rising Voltacler's transport. It's an imitation of the Brave Olivine airship, except it's not an airship, it's just a van? That's so funny, dude. But you know what they say, never trust a man in a van. Oh okay, it's a woman, we're fine. But regardless, nobody tell Orla. I feel like she might definitely have some words to say about them stealing her ship design. So fake Liko exits the van, seeing them all, along with fake Dot and... oh my god, dude. I do not know what it is, but something about fake Roy genuinely gives me the shivers. I don't know how to describe it, man. Just looking at him, I feel my heartbeat pounding. There's something so uncanny valley about him. I don't think I've ever felt this way about anyone in the Pokemon anime. He's just horrifying. He's like Roy, but shrunk down and tiny, and none of his proportions feel right, you know? It feels like a small demonic doll that you would see in a horror movie. I think I have a phobia of him, bruh. He's just uncanny. Ugh. Anyway, the fakers are huge fans of our heroes, they're all over him, man. And the funniest thing is that nobody dressed up as Alt, which obviously makes him angry. I feel like it's kind of the same vibes as Mike Wazowski being cropped out of every photo in Monsters Inc. But hey, on the bright side, they do have a baby dressed as his Sableye. Not just a baby, by the way, they didn't just steal a baby or acquire it out of thin air. That's not how babies work, believe it or not. This is their baby. You see, fake Liko and fake Dot are husband and wife, and it's their children, you know? Why do I feel like some shippers are gonna go crazy over that? But yeah, this is an astronomically rare baby sighting in Anipoke. I can only think of a few babies in the whole series' history. Luckily, this baby is the cutest thing of all time, unlike... I can't even say his name, he unsettles me to the core. What's going on, man? Anyway, clearly our heroes need to trademark and copyright their image. I can't lie, it is nice to see a family so inspired by our heroes that they dream of being like them. They're like celebrities now, man. They even have grown adults dressing up and pretending to be them. Slightly weird, but we move. So they want to have a fun 4v4 battle, and the fakers choose their own fake Captain Pikachu alongside two Raichus. And bro, the baby sends out a Pichu! Huh? The baby sends out a Pichu? The baby is a Pokemon trainer? What the heck? I'm not even kidding when I say the baby battles in this episode. Yeah, the baby can't talk and it doesn't really have coherent thoughts. It's just kind of sat there doing whatever, googling and gagating to command Pichu. But Pichu understands and follows the baby's commands. This is some Bond phenomenon level stuff, man. To think most babies are just out there on Rotom iPads watching Cocomelon, or whatever the Pokemon equivalent is. But this baby is out here doing the impossible. He's battling. He's a Pokemon trainer. Is that even legal in the Pokemon world? But wait a second, you're telling me a literal baby can have a Pokemon and battle, but our boy Max can't? That's diabolical, dude. Sadly, our heroes choose their starter Pokemon to battle, and I'm not gonna lie, that kinda limited my excitement for the battle right off the bat. We've seen the starter Pokemon in so many battles, it's insane. We've already seen all of their teamwork, their move combo potential. It's a little boring to me at this point, you know? I feel like it would have been way cooler if we got to see Kilowattrel, Hatterene, Goldengo, to see them working together. That would have been so unique and exciting, you know? They need the screen time. Anyway, Raichu fakes out Meowscarada, allowing Fake Cap's Wild Charge to hit hard, then Sableye's Shadow Sneak is dissipated by Raichu's Thunderbolt. The Raichus then begin using Fake Cap like a ball, throwing him back and forth with Wild Charge to build up momentum and speed, our heroes barely dodging it and getting exhausted. Fake Cap then uses a Big Thunder, but Quaquaval protects everyone with Aqua Cutter. But before Quaquaval can follow up, little Pichu uses what looks like Charm, then Encore, then Nuzzle. That was a bit of a guess of what moves it was, because it was commanded by a baby, bruh. I don't know what the baby's saying. But yeah, Quaquaval is quite literally cooked, it takes a lot of damage. I love when smaller, cuter Pokemon are unexpectedly powerhouses and they catch everyone off guard. So this was really funny to see. But I can't get over a baby battling, bruh. A literal baby. So that's when Fake Cap tries to strike with Iron Tail, and wait a second, Iron Tail? Are we sure this is Fake Captain Pikachu and not Fake Ash's Pikachu? Anyway, Meowscarada stops him with a Flower Trick Bomb, followed by Skeledirge landing a hit on Raichu, and Sableye finally putting a stop to Pichu's domination with Confuse Ray, and then Quaquaval manages to knock out Fake Cap. Thank God that little is out of the battle. Now it's just the two Raichus versus our heroes. And Fake Liko and Fake Dot Mega Evolve their Raichus in sync. I made a whole video about how people thought this could be like a dig at the fans for wanting Liko and Dot to get Mega Evolutions, so check that out if you haven't already, it was quite a fun video. But dude, even the anime can't make me like the Mega Raichu designs. Of course, no biggie if you like them, whoever's watching the video, but for me I think they're really bad designs, man. But hey, on the bright side, at least the Mega Raichus are being shown off in a one-off episode, rather than Cap evolving and becoming one himself. So the Mega Raichus immediately use Thunderbolt to strike Quaquaval and Sableye before a big Wild Charge knocks them both out. And now it's all on Liko and Roy, who used their famous Magical Leaf Flamethrower combo. But the Raichus just fly through the sky like a superhero and dodge it, before countering with Iron Tail and Thunderbolt. And at this point the background music simply elevates, dude. It's a new track for the anime, and I'm kind of already annoyed in advance that this will probably be cut from the English dub. It's too fire to cut, man, and oh my gosh, that is a massive spider on my leg. Sorry, I'm back. While I was doing my voiceover, a giant spider just spawned in on my leg. I'm just gonna keep that in the video, it was funny. Anyway, Skeledirge's Torch Song then begins chasing the superhero Mega Raichu around the sky, which was really cool by the way, until Meowscarada's Vine catches the other one by the tail to stop its electricity, a strategy from Dot herself. That allows Meowscarada to strike true with Magical Leaf, knocking it out, and then Skeledirge tanks a full impact hit. And dude, I've gotta say, I love how much there's an emphasis on Roy using Skeledirge's new, slower, bulkier body in all of his strategies. He did it versus Freed, versus Rayquaza, now versus these Fakers. That's something that we never saw with Ash fully. He always struggled with those bigger, bulkier Pokemon, but Roy is such an improvement in that manner. So Skeledirge pins Raichu down, and then when he lets go, all of the pent-up electricity momentum sends it launching up into the sky, straight into Meowscarada's Magical Leaf, followed by a big flamethrower. Raichu is knocked out. So the Fakers admire our heroes still, and the two parents say they used to be elite trainers who battled in Pokemon leagues, dude. I really feel like this wasn't just some throwaway line. What if episodes in this arc continue teasing the Pokemon League, and it could build up to our heroes wanting to compete in the Pokemon League? We could get a whole arc about it. That could even be how they get their big final rematches with their rivals, and it could end with the finale Liko vs Roy battle in the finals. Dude, I really hope that's the case, that'd be so cool. I miss Pokemon League arcs, man. Oh yeah, by the way, I love the implication that Liko and Roy could beat two elite trainers with Mega Evolutions who competed in Pokemon leagues. That says a lot about Liko and Roy's power level, man. Anyway, the Fakers are apologetic when they find out they were unintentionally tricking people with their identities. They were just trying to be like their heroes. And that kid, he's heartbroken that they have to stop dressing like their heroes. But our heroes turn around and tell them not to stop. They tell the Fakers that they're good people who are trying to do good. That's all that matters at the end of the day. If being inspired by the Rise and Voltaclers is what makes them go out and do it, then just keep doing it. And that's really mature of our heroes, man. They really see the good in them. And it also shows how trusting they are, because the last time they had doppelgangers, the doppelgangers framed them in front of an angry raging Annihilate, and then they tried to make strong spheres a thing. I wouldn't blame them for never wanting to see another doppelganger ever again after all of that. Anyway, a group photo later, the Fakers head out, and our heroes are so happy that their adventures are genuinely inspiring people, so for that they now have even more reason to continue pushing onwards. But as the episode ends, a Ditto is watching them in the bushes. A Ditto who pretends to be Cap and sneaks onto the airship. So yeah, the next episode is going to have a lot of Ditto shenanigans, I'm sure of it. I imagine the Ditto will probably join the Rise and Voltaclers in the next couple of episodes, and then a couple of episodes after that we'll finally get Navi, the new main character. She'll meet our heroes and choose Ditto as her partner, and you know, it's kind of refreshing that Ditto would be introduced before Navi. Normally the trainer comes first, but I welcome the chance to get to know the Pokemon episodes before it gets caught. So overall, the episode. I really liked the group of Fakers, man, way more than I expected to. It feels like 99% of doppelganger storylines are always framed in a negative light, you know? But this one was different. These are genuinely good people who didn't mean to cause harm. They just want to be like their inspirations, the Rise and Voltaclers, and do good through it. I liked them so much that I nearly want them to return again in the future. But notice how I said nearly? Yeah, there's one thing stopping me. Him. I don't know, man, if I never have to see him again, I'll be a happy guy. He just really gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know, maybe I'm losing my mind here, maybe it's the lack of sleep. It's just uncanny, like a little shrunk-down gremlin version of Roy. Low-key, the entire episode felt kinda cursed. From that demon child, to the whole adults pretending to be children thing, to a baby breaking the law, doing the impossible, and being a Pokemon trainer battling. This was a wild one for sure. Cursed is definitely the right word. I will say I feel like the battle in this episode kinda felt a bit stretched out to span the full runtime, but I think that's gonna be a common occurrence in this story arc, since it was very late notice that Gen 10 got delayed by a year, so they're gonna have to make smaller things last longer than they should. Regardless though, I did love how our heroes, seeing how they inspire others being a reason to inspire them to keep adventuring. It ties into the previous episode nicely. I wish the secondary Pokemon were used rather than the same starter Pokemon, but overall I still enjoyed the episode a lot, man. It was a unserious but fun one. So let me know your thoughts on the episode below, and be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Come join our Discord server using the link in the description, and thank you so much to all of my incredible channel members on screen right now. That includes Juscadia, Toten, Not Mini, Hope, J, Jackson. You guys are the goats. On that note, thank you all so much for watching, and best wishes until we meet again.